The history of Christianity is filled with heroic martyrs and great saints. But the story we are going to share today is truly extraordinary. It is the story of a man who demonstrated through his life that a human being, through prayer, can move mountains, defeat enemies, and understand divine mysteries. This is the story of the great father Saint Jacob of Nisibis. He is remembered as the teacher of Saint Ephrem the Syrian, a shining participant of the First Council of Nicaea, and the spiritual guardian of the ancient city of Nisibis. From his lonely life in the desert, to the honor he received among kings, and even the miracles he performed in the midst of war, we will explore the remarkable life of this holy man. Chapter 1. The ancient city of Nisibis and the birth of the saint, 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Saint Jacob was born in the early 4th century. His birthplace, Nisibis, was at that time a strategic city located between the Roman Empire and the Sasanian Empire. Even as a young man, Jacob despised worldly pleasures. While many young people of his time pursued power and wealth, his heart longed for heavenly treasures. The life of the desert, Jacob left the city and went into the desert. There he lived for many years in solitude. His home was a cave. His clothing was made of goat skin. His food consisted of desert herbs and simple plants. Winter and summer trials. The desert of Syria was harsh. Snow fell in winter, and the sun burned fiercely in summer. Though his body suffered, his spirit flourished in the love of God. This period of solitude became a time of preparation, a time of trials and victories that laid the foundation for his future mission. Chapter 2. His appointment as bishop and his pastoral work, 7 o'clock to 11 o'clock. The people of Nisibis heard about Jacob's holiness. When the bishop of the city died, the people and clergy said, "None but Jacob should lead us." At first, Jacob refused the honor, but eventually he understood that it was the will of God and accepted the responsibility. Even after becoming bishop, he did not abandon his simple lifestyle. His humility, though he held great authority, he remained humble. He became a father to the poor, a healer to the sick, a spiritual guide to the faithful. The school of Nisibis. He also founded one of the earliest theological schools in Christian history in Nisibis. There he taught the great Saint Ephrem the Syrian, who would later become one of the greatest theologians and hymn writers of the Church. Chapter 3. The Council of Nicaea and the defeat of Arius, 11 o'clock to 1600. In the year 325 AD, a major theological crisis shook the Christian world. A priest named Arius claimed that Christ was a created being and not truly divine. To address this controversy, 318 bishops gathered at the First Council of Nicaea. Saint Jacob traveled a long distance from Nisibis to attend. The emperor's respect. When Constantine the Great saw Jacob, he stood up from his throne and kissed his hand. He reportedly said, "This man carries the grace of God upon his face." The debate during the council, Jacob defended the true faith using scripture and sound reasoning, exposing the errors of Arius. According to ancient traditions, when Arius attempted to force his way back into the church, Jacob prayed, "Lord, do not allow this man to defile your holy church." Soon after, Arius died suddenly in public, which many interpreted as divine judgment. Chapter 4. Mount Ararat and Noah's Ark, 1600 to 2100. One of the most fascinating stories about Saint Jacob concerns his desire to see the resting place of Noah's Ark. According to tradition, the ark had come to rest on Mount Ararat. Jacob traveled there and attempted to climb the mountain, but the climb was extremely difficult. The mountain was covered in ice and snow. Many times he tried and collapsed from exhaustion. The angel's appearance one day. God saw his sincere desire. An angel appeared and said, "Jacob, do not tire yourself. God has heard your prayer." A piece of the ark. The angel gave him a small wooden fragment believed to be from Noah's Ark. Filled with joy, Jacob returned to his city carrying this blessed relic. For many centuries, this relic has been revered in churches of the region. Chapter 5. The Siege of Nisibis and the Miraculous Victory, 2126. 00. The powerful Persian king Shapur II marched with a massive army and laid siege to Nisibis. The city was close to falling, and the people feared destruction.